that lets you save.
Look here.
True Form Life.
I have a whole list of toxic ingredients that come in supplements that we recommend you staying away from. At least one or two of those are in a pill form. So that's a problem by using pills in most cases.
Welcome to Exploring Mind and Body with Drew Taddia. Drew is an expert in nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. And he wants to help you live a healthier, longer, and more active life. Now here's your host, Drew Taddia.
Welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in, for being a part of our True Form Life community. We're coming at you with a brand new show. We appreciate whether you're listening on terrestrial radio across the country or as a podcast around the world. We certainly wouldn't be here without you. So stick around. We got all that coming up.
This is Exploring Mind and Body. Naturally improve your lifestyle one show at a time with your host, Drew Taddia.
All right, how we doing out there, everyone? I am excited to jump on here and talk about this. This is one of our favorite subjects to talk about, and it's how to naturally gain energy. And that's what we do. This is what we talk about on a regular basis, how to gain energy. I'm going to tell you how everything is pretty much related to gaining energy or what's taking away from your energy. Those of you that are live, that are sticking around till the end, will get a chance to win this bundle. This is our Brain Fuel, Spirulina, and Liquid Mag. If you're listening as a podcast, send me a message and say I listened to your podcast, and we'll put you into the draw for this prize as well. So we could possibly give away two. Whatever you want to say, I'm good with it, and we'll put your name into a draw. Anyone that listened to a podcast, they'll go into a different draw. At any rate, let's get things rocking here. We got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. Okay, number one, I think that this one is, how can I say, not thought of, or certainly not talked about. And given that it's Halloween or October, dating ourselves, sorry podcasters if you're listening to this months later. But energy vampires is a thing. It's a real thing. Like, people come into your life and they suck the energy from you. And you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know, it's time to start paying attention. Like, we often are hanging around with people that we shouldn't be hanging around with. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Like, we hang on to friends even though they offer nothing in the relationship. Like, in my opinion, a proper friendship, or you know what, a proper relationship in any regard, business relationship, acquaintance, whatever you want to call them, energy vampires, like, this is a real thing. And any type of relationship that you're in, it should be a give and take. And I don't even like those relationships where they're like let's say someone's like, oh, I'm going to buy you dinner, I'm going to make dinner, like whatever it is, like I'm going to buy you drinks, I'm going to come over for drinks. And then when you offer, like, let me do this for you, or it's my turn, and they're like, no, I don't think that's a positive relationship, because it's not a give and take. There's not an equal energy of flow going a flow of energy going back and forth. It's just one-sided. And I feel like even though they say no, like at some point there's going to be some resentment built in because that energy is not flowing properly. So that's one when it comes to relationships in general. But I feel like it really needs to be people that don't suck the life out of you. Like, they always want something from you or need something from you. Or you have those friends. I use the word friends, the term friends loosely, but you have those people in your life that only message you if they want something from you, right? Like, to me, it's not a friendship. That's not any type of relationship, if you ask me. And then there's those people that you go around and you know, like, it's heavy, like the energy is heavy, the conversations are heavy. Maybe they're just like dumping, like you're a dumping ground, like you're a garbage can. That's all there is to it. It doesn't sound nice or polite, but I want to get this to you and through to you as quickly as possible. But I have to be to the point. Like, people are dumping their garbage on you and you're accepting that, and that drains your energy. So when you have a friend that only comes around when they have serious issues and they just dump it on you, I don't feel like they actually respect you as a friend, because they're not considering how you feel every time they dump all their junk on top of you. And we have to look at, like, it's a slippery slope here if we look at spouses. I'm not specifically talking about spouses, but you have to look at your own, like, your spousal relationship as well. Like, does your husband or does your wife come in after a long day, like a long challenging day, and dump all their junk on you too? Like, that's not a healthy relationship, if you ask me. And fortunately, I'm not going to give you relationship advice, but we have a healthy healthy relationship, and that my wife and I. And it doesn't mean we don't go through our ups and downs or through our own challenges. It just means that we continually work on our relationship every single day with open communication, and we have those conversations. Like if you're having a rough day, I'd love to help you. Have solutions and come up with ideas. But just dumping all of your day's troubles on your spouse is probably not the best way to develop a relationship. So we're going to give away this bundle. This is what we're calling our energy bundle. We have our MCT oil brain fuel. This is our spirulina, and this is our liquid mag. We're giving that, if you stick around till the end, we'll draw your name, and we'll give that out as a bundle, as a free gift for showing up and enjoying some of my rants. So energy vampire is one. And like I said, that's not something we think about. If you're continually being drained from people in your community or your environment, that is not healthy. You need to address that in some way, and often having an awkward conversation that you don't want to have until nothing's going to change until you have that conversation, right? Okay. Number two, before I get into some more like supplements or direct ideas that probably you would think I'm going to mention, is the food that you're putting in your body, right? Like I would look at refined sugar as one. That's an easy one. That spikes your blood sugar levels, so you get that high, and then you get a crash. And that's where we have most of our energy drained. So I hear from people all the time that they say they crash after work or they crash after lunch. Like lunch is an easy one. Like it is so clear to me, but to a lot of people, they're like, oh, I have no idea why I'm crashing after lunch. And I'm like, what are you eating at lunchtime? So we look at their food, and it's highly processed. I say highly processed, I'm talking about like pasta as well. Highly processed, refined sugar, just very low quality food that we're putting in our body. And that is draining us from real energy. Here's the thing, like, okay, so every once in a while I have a coffee. I'll give you an example. Like every once in a while I have a coffee. Like it's more as a treat. Like I treat coffee as like, oh, a nice little treat, or maybe something to look forward to. Let's have a coffee on Friday. Like we teamed up with the Cocoa Tree, and they have a really nice brain boosting fat fueled latte. So we'll grab that when we're leaving town for one of those, when we're leaving town to go into the mountains for like a little day adventure or weekend adventure. And that's something to look forward to. But I never feel like great after drinking coffee. And that's just my opinion. No, people get like really upset when I talk about their beloved coffee, but I just want to give you my example. So when I have a coffee, I never feel great after. So I think to myself, we're excited to have a great day, head over to the mountains, and I'm going to put something in my body that's like not going to appreciate. So that's something that you should consider, because it could be like a Friday night out, and that Friday night out equals an evening of discomfort after you eat or drink that food that you probably shouldn't have. And then probably the next day you're going to feel that sugar hangover. And we hear that from our MAP clients all the time. They're like, we cut them from refined sugar and processed food. Some of them deal with a little bit of a brain fog, detoxing from that sugar at the beginning. And then after that, they feel absolutely amazing. It's like a crazy adrenaline high that's extended because they've never had that feeling or haven't had it for years, because we're used to processed refined sugar and processed food. So if you're going to celebrate on like a Friday night, you have to consider like what you're consuming. Sorry, to finish that thought. So our MAP clients would say, I feel absolutely amazing. They're off the refined sugar. They're doing great. And then like Thanksgiving comes up or Christmas comes up or whatever it is, they go out for a night with the girls, and then they have that, not necessarily like an alcohol hangover, but a sugar hangover. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how bad this sugar makes me feel. And that's draining your energy throughout the day. So for me, I'm like, when you are considering something like exciting or a treat or something that you really want or appreciate, is that going to have negative effects or side effects? Not even talking about pharmaceuticals, just regular side effects, because it's a low quality type of product. So that's something to consider when you're looking for a bit of a celebration. So I was at this I went to this mastermind group in Nashville, and half the room, well, a good number of the room were millionaires or close. And a lot of people had coffee, and I'm okay with that. Like everyone functions differently, but I'm not used to coffee, and they had coffee there. And I was so excited. Like, I can't tell you how excited I was. I love business, and I love entrepreneurship, and I love the struggles and the pain that comes along with it. And of course, the excitement. The highs are high, that's adrenaline, and the lows are low. And I didn't want coffee to fog my brain. And half the room had coffee. They were serving coffee. They're also serving tea. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll have a coffee. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm so excited. Like, most people would rather go to the beach. They want to hang out at the beach, go on a beach vacation. There's nowhere I'd rather be than a room full of entrepreneurs learning. That's how intense I am with this kind of stuff. I just love it. That's all there is to it. But I thought to myself, I don't want to ruin this experience. I don't want to ruin 1 second of this experience by having a coffee and having any type of brain fog early on, because coffee like gives me like a buzz-ish kind of feeling. I don't really enjoy it. It's like alcohol. Like, I don't really enjoy alcohol anymore because of how it makes my body feel. And after you step away from alcohol for an extended period of time, you realize like how it affects your body. And that's not to say I never drink or never have coffee. Like, I have a beer like like once a month maybe. At any rate, so at the conference, I was like, I don't want any brain fog or any kind of anxiety, like get the shakes and stuff. Maybe that's just me from coffee. And then I didn't want any type of crash in the afternoon because coffee often comes with a high and then a low. And anytime you have those spikes in your blood sugar level, mostly from sugar, you always have that crash. So that's something to consider when you're talking about energy. A lot of people say, I don't have the energy. What can I do? Like maybe it's coffee. But then you have those people that are like, I will never give up my coffee. And like, that's fine. I'm not saying don't give up your coffee. I'm not saying that. I will never say that because people get so crazy. And if you tell someone not to have something, they want it that much more, right? So all I'm saying is consider, like you want more energy, consider what you're doing and the reasons why you don't have that energy, right? And I just pick coffee's an easy one because it doesn't agree with me very much, but maybe it's alcohol. Like, are you drinking every night? Because that's definitely going to drain your energy the next day. And if you're not sure, like if it's just one glass of wine, try a month without it and watch your energy go through the roof. And that's all there is to it. Like these are facts I'm telling you from hundreds of clients we've worked with over the last 10 plus years of understanding how the body works and what happens when you put substances into your body that it may not agree with. What is in the coffee that is making brain fog? I don't know, Rhonda. That's a great question. I wish I knew. Coffee's not something that I've really dove deeply into. Like usually if something really interests me, like mushrooms, you guys know I'm like really into supplements, obviously. Well, maybe some of you are listening as a podcast, but and don't quite know me, but we have a line of our own supplements and I do like brain numbing deep dives on every supplement before we start using them first and then before we start selling them second. So I get like super nerded out on some subjects. Like mushrooms is something I'm starting to get into a little bit. I know there's tons and tons of benefits. And there's also actually a mushroom coffee. We were in LA and we had a friend that was like, they really enjoyed coffee and we're like, nah, we're not really coffee people. And they're like, well, listen to this. It's like half coffee and half mushrooms, like lion's mane mushroom. And I don't know enough of it about it to share too much more than that. But it's like a part coffee mix, part mushroom mix. So that for some of you that are trying to get off coffee a bit, that might be something to look forward to. But to answer your question, Rhonda, like I don't know. And I'll be 100% honest with you guys at all times. Like if I know something, I'll tell you about it. And if I don't, I'll just say I don't know. And I usually go and do research to find out. But at that point, I don't know what it is about coffee. I think it's like, from like my opinion, it's probably like that stimulant, like it's the caffeine in particular, like it's the caffeine that we're addicted to. And it's the caffeine that you get withdrawals from when you get off caffeine. It's another reason why I'm like, maybe it's not the best choice, because if you're on something like sugar, like when we do our sugar detox, people have like such an eye-opening, like life-changing experience when they're like, I haven't been off sugar since I was born. So they go through even 10 days with us without sugar and their eyes are so wide open and they're like, wow, this is what real energy feels like without refined sugar. It'd be the same thing with coffee when people have less coffee in their life. And then you can look at digestion issues and other types of side effects, but I don't want to focus on coffee too much. That's not my point. My point isn't that you shouldn't have coffee. My point is that you should consider the substances in your life that you're consuming that may be stripping energy from you on a regular basis. Rhonda says, is monk fruit sugar or refined sugar? No, I wouldn't consider monk fruit, stevia, xylitol, those natural sugars, I would not consider a refined sugar. And I would suggest staying away from like those cheap, like Equal, or like those are aspartame, sucralose. Those have direct like neurological issues that cause issues in your brain. They cause digestive, gut health. And I see people like sitting there with a coffee, dumping these things in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know like what's to come for you. Nicole says, is tea the same as coffee? Oh, and the mushroom coffee is so good, but I don't use any coffee in it. Okay, so it's just, we got a whole coffee conversation going on here. So it's just mushroom coffee with no coffee. Tea is not the same as coffee. No, I failed to mention that, but I chose, there was like some type of lemongrass tea. So I was sitting there drinking my hot cup of tea, which is normal for me. Like when I go to restaurants, I always order hot lemon water. I got to tell you this quick story. We were out in, I don't know where, we were driving back from LA and we sat down in a restaurant and I said, can I have a hot, so if I say, can I get a glass of hot water? They'll bring me a cup of hot water on a tray and it's so hot I can't hold it, right? Like craziest thought. So now I have to say, can I have a hot glass of water in a mug with lemon water? Or sorry, with lemon wedges. That's what I say. Try to break it down. Can I get a hot glass of water in a mug with lemon wedges? And they're like very confused. Like they've never heard of this. And waitresses, they have such a hard job. I don't mean to like put them down or pick on them, but this is such a foreign concept to most of them. So then they come, they shut. So then this last time we were at a restaurant, I asked for that and they came with, they gave me a mug of water. Like it came with a mug, big ups. It was cold water and they put a tea bag next to it. And I was like, how did you get hot lemon water with a cold glass in a mug? Oh my gosh. Okay. Excuse me. So, okay, what else did I want to share with you? We're giving this bundle away right here. So if you guys stick around till the end, it's not gonna be too much longer, but I did want to give you some more tips so you know so we know what we have going on here. So I said that paying attention to substances that you put in your body, paying attention to your environment and the people that you're hanging around with, because there's a very good chance that you're hanging around with energy vampires that are sucking energy from your life. And then there's other substances that we're putting into our body. We're putting into our body that is draining energy from us. And the refined sugar, of course, the food that we're putting in is often spiking our blood sugar levels. When it drops, comes the crash, and that's why we're kind of out of it. Like we're not energized, we're not excited, we're not feeling great. So that's those are 3 important tips. I wanted to mention there was one more that I cannot think of now. Trudy says black tea versus herbal tea. I would go with herbal tea. Black tea has caffeine. If you want like a lighter caffeine, I would go with green tea instead of black tea if you're going to go with a caffeinated or an herbal black. And that's you're looking at like matcha that has tons of caffeine in it, which I would recommend I would stay away from personally. Okay, the next thing I wanted to mention was exercise. I know that's not like, oh great, he's going to tell me to exercise. I'm just going to tell you some facts. When we start working with people, more particularly in our MAT program, we suggest and we structure and we work to everyone's lifestyle, whatever fits best. But we have people like, I'm not a morning person. I can't get up early enough. I got too much stuff going on in the morning. Whatever excuse you have, if you're able to push that aside, even for a few days, and you start working out in the morning, your energy goes through the roof. I am not kidding. I haven't had one person that has started working out in the morning with us and hasn't said, I can't believe how much energy I have. Of course, we look at their food and we look at their environment and there's other factors, but energy, bar none, is the easiest and simplest way to increase your energy. I'm not saying it's completely easy just to start magically working out in the morning, but if you could get into a routine, get yourself up in the morning, and it doesn't so if you were to look at the exact opposite of that, and you have someone that sleeps until, let's just say a number, not trying to offend anyone, let's throw a number out. If you're sleeping until 9 or 10 in the morning, the most of your day is going to be lethargic, and that's just what we've seen. And this is not coming from myself. This is coming from personal experience from working with clients on a regular basis. And understand, we've been doing this for a long time, like 12 years at the time of this recording is a long time. That's full time. It's not like that was a part-time job. We've been working with clients for seemingly like forever. And when we come across someone that sleeps in, they don't have like a super active or productive day. Once we start to push back the time that they get up, they start to be more productive. And then if we can push that back far enough so they can get a 30-minute workout in, their energy goes through the roof. So if you are drained, and if you look at the flip side of that coin, when I talk to someone, they come to me, because we get messages about this particularly all the time, and they say, I have no energy. I can't keep up with my kids. I go through a crash in the afternoon. I get home from work. I just want to lay on the couch. And I say, do you work out? Almost every single one of them says no. And then if you look at people that work out, that do work out in the morning, very few of them are like, I have no energy throughout the day. What do I do? Okay, so there's a bunch of comparisons there to help you understand that if you want to increase your energy, you must look at working out on a regular basis earlier in the day. Sound good? That's pretty clear, I think. Even though you don't want to hear that. If you're not working out, if you tried working out, let us know. If you're struggling with working out, if you need the main reason people struggle with working out is because of our process. Like we have our when I say MAP, it's our metabolism accelerator program, and we have a clear path. It's our map to success. So the reason that most people struggle with working out is because they don't pay anything. They're like, I'm just going to use YouTube. I'm going to do a bunch of free stuff and see how that goes, right? So if you're not financially invested, you're not emotionally invested. That's one of the reasons why you're not working out. You don't have a clear plan. Like when I put myself on a clear plan, like right now I'm in a gaining stage. So I was 188 pounds. I did the other opposite extreme of our MAP program. So our MAP program is for weight loss for women. I flipped that on its head and I did the exact opposite. So way more calories. It doesn't matter. Most people are interested in gaining weight. I'm 205 pounds right now. So I've gained almost 17 pounds, which is crazy. Most hard gainers like myself, is impossible for them to gain 5 pounds. And that's, put that into context. Most of you that are trying to lose 5 pounds, it's just as difficult for a lot of men to gain weight on that level. level, which is a conversation for a different time. But when I'm in that gaining phase, because I'm going to go I want to cut down now. Like I'm about 205, 210 pounds on a heavy day. I'm going to drop down to 190 pounds. And I know how to do that through nutrition and exercise. But when I do that, everything is set out. This is exactly what I'm going to eat for the next 6 weeks. This is exactly what my workout program is going to be for the next 6 weeks. And that's minimum 6 weeks, 2 for the first block, and then I'll do another 6 weeks and change things up. But for you guys, why you struggle with exercise so much is because you don't have a plan, and you probably don't know how to do it yourself, which is fine. It's okay. There's a lot of things you can do that I can't do because I don't have 10 years of experience doing it, right? So I can set my own plan. We do that for customers. So you're struggling with exercise because you don't have any, there's no skin in the game. You don't have any investment, which is why you're not emotionally connected to you waking up and actually getting that workout in, right? So that's number one. Number two is you don't have a plan. It's like, oh, I'm going to get up as often as possible and try to do some workouts from YouTube, or I'll jump on the cardio machine. Not seeing the results you're looking for is because you don't have a set plan. And the third one is you don't have anyone checking in on you. And a workout partner is not going to do it for you. You need to have someone that's going to be like, hey, why didn't you get your workout in? So those are my 3 steps that I just kind of wasn't planning on sharing that with you. But if you want more energy, you'll start working out. Like if you really want more energy, if it's that important to you, you'll start working out in the morning, and then you'll find those 3 steps to help you find that success. When we look at fats, okay, here's the thing. This is my next step. For whatever reason, I don't know where it comes from, but a lot of people feel that protein gives them energy. Protein does not give you energy. Fat gives you energy, and healthy carbs, complex carbs, gives you energy. So when people are like, oh, my energy is low, I have to eat more protein, that's not what's happening. In most cases, your fat content is quite low. So we could pick on keto, for example. Like there's benefits to keto. I'm not going to get into that right now. I will tell you that when most people start keto, they cut out complex carbs. They're on protein and fats, but they still have lack of energy. So they have lack of energy because they're mixing the complex carbs, right? You can get to a point when you're in ketosis where you don't need carbs, but most people don't get there, or they yo-yo too much on and off to see real results that being in a ketosis state can offer. And then most people do it just for weight loss. So they lose a bunch of weight and they're like, great. And they go back and eating their regular lifestyle and they gain all their weight back. You know what I'm talking about if you've been on keto before. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So healthy fats. So I have a handful of favorite healthy fats. If I could run through them real quick, like you could look at MCT oil, which is a chain or a carbon of coconut oil. You still need the coconut oil. This is C8 caprylic acid, MCT oil. So actually, instead of listing all the fats, let's just focus on this one here in particular. Like you need fats for energy, and these fats will also help you burn. They'll help you burn fat. Like good fats eat bad fats. You need good fats in your diet to increase your energy. It'll also help increase your metabolism and burn body fat. So if you want to increase energy, you need to add more fats into your diet. So I said I wasn't going to do it, but I will. We'll go with like a good clean peanut butter, just peanuts. If you're allergic to peanut butter, look at sunflower oil. I did this video about like wow butter, and people got irate at wow butter. It is the whole entire product is junk. I wouldn't consume it. I wouldn't recommend it. Certainly wouldn't feed it to kids. Look at sunflower oil as a fat, or sunflower butter, as a fat if you can't have peanut butter. But I like peanut butter or almond butter. Almond butter is about twice the price, but it's less allergenic. Less people have allergies of almond butter than peanut butter. So look to peanut butter as a healthy fat and to increase energy. That's a great little snack, like a date. Oh my gosh, a date with peanut butter in there. It's absolutely delicious. Dates have fiber. They also have sugars in there, and because of the fiber, it doesn't spike so much your blood sugar level. And because of you have your healthy fats and sugar, you'll get an instant boost of energy, sustainable energy. So another, like avocados, you have to have avocados. When we design our meal plans for our members, we have 4 macros. So we designed that for our members, a specific calorie count for your weight, specific to you, but everyone has one of the 4 macros. Fats is one of them. So avocado might be in there, MCT oil might be in there, peanut butter. These are different fats that will give you energy. So this is one of the ones we're going to give away here. I plan on wrapping this up, but more and more people are jumping in here. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep you forever. Give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. Give me 5 minutes and I'll leave 5 minutes open for questions. Spirulina. Spirulina is jam-packed with protein, which is fantastic. In many cases, if we don't have a well-balanced diet, in my opinion, with the 4 macros, that's where cravings come from. That's where spike in blood sugar levels come from. That's where lack of energy comes from. So most people's diets are carb heavy. Like if you look at, like we did some traveling traveling, right, just recently. So if you look at a hotel breakfast, there's like pancakes, French toast, muffins, cookies. They say pancakes, waffles. What else they have? Oatmeal. Like that's all carb heavy. It's like that's the world we live in of carb, carb, carb. It's really hard to find vegetables, almost impossible, which made me super grateful to have my greens. I wouldn't suggest not having vegetables and just greens, but if there's no vegetables around, you can bet I'm doubling up on greens. And for like those hotel breakfasts, almost no fresh greens. Actually, zero fresh greens that I can think of right now. So there's a good chance that your diet is carb heavy, which means it's easier for you to gain body weight because of all the carbs, because you're basically carb loading. And if you want to look at that at a deeper level, like someone like myself or like a bodybuilder that want to gain weight before they cut down, they carb load. It's actually calling carb loading. So if you go to a hotel breakfast and you're having a muffin, a pancake, oatmeal, like you're carb loading, and that's a great way to gain weight. So we need to stop carb loading, and then balance that out. So these are jam-packed with protein, and they have your antioxidants with your greens. So that's why spirulina is a great option to carry with you while you're traveling or take on a regular basis. Now, my last comment here: if you're not having the 4 macros, that's a good reason why you're craving in the evening. I guess I should have said about the hotel breakfast. Like sometimes they have bacon, sometimes they have like sausage, like that kind of stuff. Personally, I'm not like super interested in, so it's really tough to eat at those places, which is why we often bring our own food, because you never know what you're gonna get. Okay, my last one here is magnesium. Like everyone needs magnesium. Magnesium has over 300 enzymatic functions in the body. Magnesium used to come from soil that went into food that we consumed. Now we have a soil depletion, like nutrient soil that is no longer nutrient dense, because of how the crops are continually grown in the same soil, and because they're coming from all parts of the world. If you can go to an organic farm or you can go to a local farm, they definitely have better options, but you're not going to get the magnesium you need from food. It just doesn't happen anymore. We need to supplement, and some of you that have tried our liquid magnesium, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's just how it goes. We need to supplement with magnesium, and that's one of the ways that you're going to get the energy that your body needs. It's super important. If you're not getting it from us, go to a health food store and try to find a healthier option. I would suggest a liquid form. Like, so many times people take a pill or powder and it just doesn't absorb at the same rate. So if you look at a pill, for example, that's an easy one. So you take a magnesium pill and you have to pay attention to multidextrin, titanium dioxide. I have a whole list of toxic ingredients that come in supplements that we recommend you staying away from. Most of those, at least 1 or 2 of those, are in a pill form. So that's a problem by using pills in most cases. So a lot of people say, oh, I'm already taking a magnesium pill. I'm like, oh, great. Well, how's it working for you? And they're like, oh, I don't really notice anything, but I know I'm should be taking it, so I keep taking it. Like, well, when you take a magnesium supplement, you should be able to feel a difference. So you may want to change up your brand. So when you take a pill, you swallow it. It goes into your digestive tract. It has to be broken down, and then it has to be hydrated, and then it goes to your bloodstream. Those are 3 different steps that it takes before it gets to your bloodstream and you start feeling the benefits. With our liquid magnesium, it's liquid already. It doesn't need to be broken down. It doesn't need to be rehydrated. It goes straight to your bloodstream and you see instant benefits. That's why it works so well, and that's why people absolutely love it. This is our best-selling product, and we see all kinds of different benefits. Energy is always number one. People always start to feel more energy, improved digestion, chronic pain, and sleep. Those are the 4 main reasons our customers have found the benefits from our magnesium. So I don't want to get into magnesium too much. We could talk about that all day. So I'm going to wrap things up here, and I'm going to add you guys to the wheel of names. And thank you all so very much. I really appreciate your time coming in. I mentioned our MAP program. If you want details on that, we do have a bit of a process. It starts with questions. We do have a bit of a clarity questions, and then we jump on a call. And that's our process. It's been working out amazing. Our clients are doing absolutely incredible. It's been life-changing, not just us, but for them as well. And that's because of our process. Shoot us a message if you're interested in details about our MAP program. Otherwise, all of these products are at on our website, trueformlife.com. I'm going to put this bundle on our website for, what do you want? 15% off? Is that fair? 15% off. And that will be available until Monday night. So if you want to grab that bundle to help increase your energy, we'll give you a bit of a discount just for being here and being awesome, or inspiring you, and just inspire. I just thought of that right now. You've just inspired a bit of a deal for you. So 15% off if you guys want to grab that bundle on our website. Any questions at all, shoot us a message. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
True Form Life.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Exploring Mind and Body. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our True Form Life community. You can always find us on facebook.com/trueformlife. We post up there a couple times a day on our story. We're always trying to bring you more content around living a healthy lifestyle, whether that be nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. We also have free challenges that we do at least once a month. So if you follow us along there, you'll be able to join maybe a plank challenge or a squat challenge, Tabata challenge, whatever it may be. We'd love to have you join us. We're also on Instagram.com/Drew Taddia. Again, we're posting up there a couple times a day along with our story, all dedicated to keeping you fit and healthy and on track. Our main website is trueformlife.com. If you want to check out some of our products, some of our services, or if you just want some great content from videos to blog posts and recipes and more, we got all that at trueformlife.com. Once again, thank you so much for being here. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. As always, I'm your host, Drew Taddia, in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with True Form Life's Drew Taddia, fitness expert. To find out more about the show, Drew Taddia, or to listen to past shows, visit exploringmindandbody.com.